I remember in the late 90s when Star Trek kept having its movie failures that they said there was a glut of Star Trek out there, that there's audience fatigue. Now, Disney's following about the same patterns that we saw back then, and they're actually pulling the plug early on different things now at this point, delaying things, stopping production on things, canceling things. It's looking like it's a bad problem for the MCU, which is great because they've ruined it and it's not coming back. So let's get into the news of exactly what happened over the weekend. We'll have a little Schadenfreude. That's a big word for you guys, but I know you know what it means. A lot of the Disney fans don't, but you guys do. So let's check this out. Okay, The Marvels ends box office run as lowest grossing MCU movie in history. That was quick. This went in and out of the box office in just a few weeks. Usually these MCU movies linger. They stay for months, and you can get the tail end of these at the end of the box office to keep them going. But here it is. There's nothing heroic about the final box office performance of The Marvels. The superhero sequel is officially the lowest grossing installment in history. After 4 weeks on the big screen, the comic book tentpole is running out of steam with 80 million in North America, 197 million globally. Yes, it's a big loss for Disney. The budget, of course, was over 200 million, and that means, of course, the marketing on top of this was another 100 million at least, and so they are very much scrambling with a huge loss here. Now, this is something that they, were expecting another billion-dollar movie out of. That's exactly what Captain Marvel did. But they were at a time back then where they were riding off of Avengers Endgame. People were going to rubberneck for this movie because there was so much buzz about it. And of course, there was no buzz about this because it was just a terrible train wreck at the end of the day. Now, this is out of theaters already. That's absolutely huge. This is crazy. Can't believe this is happening, and it couldn't happen to a nicer franchise and a nicer evil corporation. So laughing today as we're seeing this news, a lot of people are already laughing about it too. We're seeing Geeks and Gamers making fun of it. Yellow Flash has been making fun of it. Nerdrotic's been making fun of it. Lots of fun on the internet to be had based on this. But there's more to it, because what would save the MCU at this point, right? I mean, they're canceling this. They're canceling She-Hulk Season 2. That came out earlier last week. This is a sign that, of course, Disney is going to be slowing the production of these MCU programs down also, as Disney Plus is starting to fail. We're seeing the next legs fall. We saw the movies fail. Disney Plus failing is next. And, of course, we're talking about having Disney Plus now merge with Hulu because they can't keep it up with the content. It makes sense. Disney Plus, really, it's got its back catalog, sure, but at the same time, most people are tuning in for these like one or two shows that, like, maybe they release one a quarter or something like that, and they have like 5 episodes. So gosh, I mean, there's no real reason to subscribe to it unless you're looking for that one show periodically, right? I like the old Zorro stuff, but is what it is. So that's going by the wayside. And of course, the only thing that would really save things at this point is if they could build a Avengers reunion with old characters coming back. And here's what Kevin Feige says. Robert Downey Jr. will never reprise the role of Iron Man in the MCU. Well, he knows he doesn't have to. He's made way too much money. The guy's like got $1 billion. And so why would he come back and do this at this point? They're not going to do anything interesting with the Iron Man character. If they did it, you know exactly what would happen. He'd be an old man. He'd be sad. He would have lost his life, been divorced, upset, and some young black girl would come in and just be better than him at it, right? That's how Disney would write a new Iron Man movie. So why would Robert Downey Jr. want to do that? I mean, he doesn't want to become a Picard, right? That's exactly what they did with that show. And so Disney's, of course, going to make this sort of bargaining thing come back soon. Maybe it's not going to be with him, but maybe it'll be with Chris Evans with Captain America. Maybe they'll try to do something with Thor, because those are the 3 major properties that made this film a success, right? And so that's going to be the next step, is doing the old man version of one of these characters to try to get them back in the saddle one last time and save things. I mean, we're already kind of seeing it with Hugh Jackman's return as Wolverine in Deadpool. But you know what? When these characters come back like this, it's always cringe because they're always too old to play action heroes. It doesn't work out very well. They don't move naturally like they did like when they were younger, and it just never does well on that level. And you know exactly, like I said, what Disney will be doing with this. So if they can't do this, what's going to happen? The MCU is just going to keep spiraling and falling, and there's not going to be much done with it in the future. We're going to see that Disney's going to be cutting back on productions drastically, and the MCU is finally going bye-bye. Maybe we'll get good movies again. Jeez, what a thought. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this, my friends. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.